Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, my name is Alicia and today is Monday. And you know what we do on Mondays? You ask me a question, I give you my honest opinion about it and my assumption about it. You can take it, leave it, or roll with it. So today's topic is what to do when you're PCSing, some things or some tips and advice for you guys. So let's get right into it. Alright, so I made a list so I won't forget anything. So when you PCSing, so that's when you receive your orders to go to another duty station. So PCSing is post change of station. So the first thing is once you find out that you are PCSing, once you have those orders in your email, hey, you're going to such and such, such and such, make sure you tell your spouse or a family member that you'll be leaving. So if like you're married, make sure you tell your spouse that you're leaving, and so you guys can plan accordingly to like get the kids records, get the kids school stuff, get the school medical records and everything. So make sure you plan accordingly so once you get those orders. If you're single and you have a kid as well, do the same thing. If you're not single, then kudos to you. Your process will be a lot smoother and easier. It depends on, you know, if you're not messing around with S1, if you're not messing around with finance, especially CIF. You gotta make sure you get in there. You gotta make sure you get in there. But that's on the list. I don't want to just skip over everything, so that's on the list as well. And we'll talk about it. So the first thing I have on my list is once you get those orders and you have the start date of when you're supposed to arrive, you back plan from there. So when I say back plan from there, make sure you find a place to stay. That is the major thing, because if you want to stay off post, do you want to stay on post, do you want to stay off post but in the area around the post, make sure you find a place to stay, and make sure you do that as soon as possible, because places around the post fill up really fast, really fast. And also all like 30 minutes away fill up faster as well. So let's say if you're going to like Germany, oh, you stand on post. I would advise you to stay on post. That's my opinion. But let's say like you're going to Fort Hood. Do you want to stay on post? Do you want to stay off post? A lot of those areas fill up really fast. The next thing is award. So when you PCS, you're supposed to get an award. You can write your own award or tell your supervisor to write your award. It all depends on what you want. If you want it on time or if you don't want it on time. I say if you want it on time, you have to write your award, and they will look it over and then submit it to S1. Point blank, I'm not gonna lie to you. I had to write my award. Hey, he looked it over and everything. Send it up to S1 for corrections. The next thing is, but it's not supposed to be like that, but time consuming. Do that. The next thing I have on my list is make sure you do your support form and your NCOER. So mine is my support form. So I do my support form, and then my supervisor or the person like hired in you, they initiate your OER. So your OER, they initiate your evaluation. Okay, so if your NCO is kind of a little different, but kind of the same process. So make sure you do that, and make sure you get them some good bullets, good things you've done, good accomplishment you have done, and make sure you get that done. Okay, make sure it's signed. Make sure you know everything is good with it. Make sure you sign it in order, because you don't want to get to your next duty station and you like, okay, where's your last NCOR, where's your OER, why this haven't been signed, and then you're just going to be like getting paperwork done when you're supposed to be relaxing before you know go to your next duty station. The next thing is make sure you get a DA-31 sign, and make sure that you backwards plan from that start date that you're supposed to report there. If you want to take 30 days of leave and TDY, make sure you include that in there. Make sure you put it in the remarks section that you're going to do that, because that is very important, because you don't want to be considered as AWOL, because that is really bad, really bad. So once you receive those orders, the next thing, so what I did when I received my orders, I went you know, I talked with my spouse and everything, and I went straight to transportation. Transportation is a must, you guys, because you don't want to pack up all your stuff by yourself. You want the military to pack you up. So you don't got to worry about, you know, getting this, getting boxes, doing this, doing that. Let the Army pack you up. It'd be a lot easier, especially if you have kids like I do. I want the Army to pack me up, so I don't have to worry about none of that stuff. So once you get those orders, make sure you go to transportation. Well, first make sure you talk it over with your spouse, you know, about everything, about the plans and everything that you're going to do. Then go to transportation and get all that paperwork done. If you have the orders, you can go to transportation and you can do the process. Okay, A lot of people don't know that. I didn't know that until someone told me, so I'm, you know, passing on the information to you guys. The next thing, the biggest thing, so if you're PCSing, you can use your government travel card. Make sure you activate your government travel card with your whatever rep it is. Make sure you activate it. To see that if it's activated, just go to the store, like a gas station, and buy like a stick of gum. You ain't gotta buy nothing big. Just buy a stick of gum and see if it goes through. If it goes through, it's activated. So once you activate it in your PCSN, make sure that you know, if you want a hotel, you book a hotel. Make sure you do the government rate. Make sure you save those receipts. You can use it for gas. You can use it for food. But make sure you save the receipts so at the end of the day, you won't have to pay nothing back. The government would pay it for you because you're PCSing, okay? All right, so the next thing is, like I said, with the hotels. So make sure you book your hotels in advance, because I didn't book it in advance, and I had to backwards my planning because I didn't book it at the time that I want to book it. So let's say that if you're going to like Fort Hood in 2 months, make sure you book it a month out for a hotel or anything. Like if you're gonna stay at a hotel for 1 day and then keep driving the next way, just make sure you book it in advance. That's all I gotta say. Just make sure you book it in advance. The next thing is, you know, plan according with your dates and your time frames. Sometimes your dates and time frames get mixed up. Sometimes it's like a miscommunication with you and the movers, and you and the unit trying to get clearing done as soon as possible. So just make sure you plan accordingly with those dates. The next thing is, if you have kids, or including yourself, make sure you get copies of your medical paperwork. Any type of paperwork that you think deemed necessary to have, make sure you get copies of it. Make sure you get copies of your DA-31. Make sure you have multiple copies. Make sure you have multiple copies of your orders, your children's school records. Even though they said they're gonna fax it over, just say, hey, can I get a copy of it just in case? Just in case, can I get a copy of it? Because you have to put your kid in school, so your kid can stay out of school for more than, I think, a week, or not even a week. By government law, your kid's supposed to be in school. So that is another thing I had a problem with, is making sure I get those paperworks and records, because they gave me a little hassle, but I got it. So just make sure you have those records, so when you go to the next duty station, you can enroll your child into school, and they don't have to, like, go to that same grade again, redo that same grade, and not go to the next grade level with with everybody else in his time frame. So that is a must. Make sure you get those medical records. Make sure your kid get physicals done. Make sure they get dental done, vision done, everything. And make sure you also get that done as well, because if you're red, that's bad. You need to be green, okay? That's the big thing. You need to be green. If you need to get those wisdom tooth pulled out before UPCS, you might want to get them pulled out before UPCS, because when you get there, they're going to have you do it anyway. So you might as well get it done. So the last thing I have on my list is, make sure you request your clearing papers. I didn't know this. Make sure you request your clearing papers a week before your leave starts, because they're not gonna, if you try to request it early, they're gonna be like, no, we cannot give you your clearing papers to clear the installation. Now with unit clearing papers, they'll give them to you probably like a month or like 3 weeks in advance. So you can start clearing, but they won't clear you until like the second week. It depends on your battalion. That's one. So just make sure you get all that paperwork done, and make sure your process is good. Make sure your planning is good. And also, do not yell at the movers, because the movers are pretty slick. They probably lose your stuff, break your stuff and everything, and it'll be like a hassle to get everything fixed, a hassle to get all your property there where the time that you want it to get there. So just be patient with the movers, and just be patient all around. So that's all I have. Give advice for you guys, and some tips and some tricks and everything. So for further ado, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. And if you have any questions you want to ask me, write them down below, comment down below, and I will answer in the best of my ability. If you don't like my response, hey, I'm just giving you the truth. So hey, you guys, that's the end of the video, and I see you next time. Bye.